I was talking to a man the other day who was leaving, decided to immigrate, decided to leave this country. And I said, why are you leaving? He said, why are you leaving? He said, it's homosexuality. I said, what are you talking about? He said, 300 years ago, if you were homosexual, you were hanged, drawn, and quartered. 100 years ago, if you were homosexual, you were hanged. 50 years ago, if you were homosexual, you were flogged and given 20 years in prison. 20 years ago, if you were homosexual, you were fined £200. You were fined £200 and sent to prison for 2 years. 5 years ago, if you were homosexual, you had a small fine and you were pardoned. Got off with a warning. I said, well, what are you leaving for? He said, I'm going before they make it compulsory.
There is a subconscious reaction to these devices when we use them. What if I were to hold my phone while I'm talking to you?
Stay tuned, stay locked to the Prophet Kwaku on the Nubian Forum People's Talk Show.
Well, this is Tipper Irie, the original ragamuffin. And you know what's there for the Nubian Forum People's Talk Show with the non-fearing, unapologetic, the true Prophet Kwaku. Make sure you keep it locked.
Otep, Itepe, Ineke, J.R. Senebe. You in tune to Nubian Forum People's Talk Show live here on Galaxy. Afiwit.com. Nah, give up.
You're in tune to the Nubian Forum People's Talk Show with the Prophet Kwaku on GalaxyAfterWe.com, the only brainwashing station in this nation. Asha Senator says so.
Otep, Itepe, Neke, J.R. Senebe. You're in tune to Nubian Forum People's Talk Show live on GalaxyAfterWe.com, the only brainwashing station in this nation. Inside with the Prophet Kwaku, Maduti, Akwaba, the great Prince Malachi. Yes, Otep people, and I greet you, Akwaba, in the name of the creating force of the universe. The omnipotent being that which is greater than ourselves, who has many names. Olodomare Nkulukulu, Kwame Blafwashe, Mungo, Onyeme, Jiniame, Ja, Aman Ra, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Maduba to the great ancestors, them. Those ancestors that fought the enemies of Mama Africa for the last 6 millenniums. Maduba to the ancestors, them, that's been watching over us in everything that we do. Maduba to those ancestors who marched with us for the last 6 years and is no longer with us anymore. We venerate you, we remember you, we will never forget you. Maduba. Vudum Abu Jatata. Vudum, bless up Otep. Dean. Paul Fricks, wait, you're there about the place, Paul. Big up yourself every time. We give honor to the ancestors, them, of the Mangamizi, whose bones lay beneath the many seas, the many oceans, the many rivers, the many lakes, the many swamps, the many trees that they were lynched from, the many deserts, the many graves of this world. We say, Muduba, Madase, for your sacrifices. Muduba, to the ancestors, them that wrote our stories down on stones, papyrus, scrolls, books, put them in audio and video so that we would remember where we came from. Oh, we arrived where we are, wherever we are in the world. The struggles and the sufferings that we made, the tribularious and the nefarious acts that these people committed against us in attempt of genocide. To those ancestors that gave us that so that we would know and never forget, that we would learn, always survived, the mistakes we made, the corrections we need to do and where we need to go. Maduba, Madase, for your sacrifices, ancestors. Akwaba, to all those who's tuned in, wherever you are in the world. We give thanks and praises unto you, the people, I want to say Maduba to all the Africans who stand firm in terms of our culture, whichever the culture of Africa you're practicing, or the culture from the carriers beyond that you're practicing, or the culture of those who's actually in the United Snakes of America and the Americas. Those Africans that don't shame to call themselves African, don't shame to express the African allergy. I salute you and say Muduba Madasi for continuing to hold up the faith. And so this evening we don't have much time. It's 6:30 p.m. GMT, and so we finish at 8. So I want to continue from a conversation I was having with Chief Procomba by this morning or this afternoon, and I want to talk about that, but I also want to continue to speak about, there's a lot of us talking about that we want to leave Britain, and a lot of us are arguing about other things. We have disagreements about certain things, and people think that because we have disagreements, we have there's a call coming in. I'm not actually taking calls at the moment. Unknown caller. Who's the unknown caller?
Speaking.
Unknown caller? Unknown caller? Otep, unknown caller. Unknown caller. Can't get unknown caller. Hold on a minute. Unknown caller?
You can hear the eye?
Yeah, but I'm not taking, I'm just presenting the show at the moment. Is it possible for you to call back, beloved?
I don't want to ask a couple of quick questions. It's going to take 30 seconds.
Alright, go on.
First one is, remember the march, and we got diverted. Could you tell me, there was a march, we got diverted?
Yeah, I don't want to, with due respect, I don't want to deal with that right this moment now, because I want to talk about something else. But I will be talking about that probably at the top of the hour. So if you give me the opportunity, beloved, to just present the show I'm going to do this evening, I would appreciate that.
Yeah, and I wanted to talk about Garvey Town. Can I call that?
That's what I'm going to talk about, beloved. So if you can give me the opportunity to do that, I'd appreciate that.
Okay.
Give thanks, my brother. Bless. Yeah, so there's a lot of people. I'm not taking any calls at the moment, but what I will do, I've got a few calls this week, saying that I wasn't giving out the number enough times. So I'm going to give out the number now. This will be the live link number that if you want to interact with the show when I open up the lines. If you are abroad, if you're not in mainland Britain, the number is +44 2. All right, get your pen on them thing there. You get your pen on that? All right then. It's +44 207 19 30 174. I repeat, +44 207 193 0174. And if you're on the island of Britain, it is 02 07 193 0174. I repeat, 02 07 193 0174. That's the live link number when I open up the lines. And if you want to send a text, if you want to send a WhatsApp, don't call on the WhatsApp because it won't come through. But if you want to send a text and you want to send a WhatsApp message, say where you're picking us up from, etc. If you are abroad, it is +44 737 792 0703. I repeat, +44 737 792 0703. Alternatively, if you're on the island of Britain, it is 073 77 92 0703. That is the WhatsApp and text number 0737 792 0703. You can send in your WhatsApp and your text message as much as you want, but in terms of the live link, just wait until I open up the lines. And so you're in tune to New Brown Forum People's Talk. And please don't send me no messages on my private number from my friends and that and family who know me, because I don't pay attention to that phone. I don't open it up while I'm on here. Yeah, so you have to come through the studio's links. So there's a lot of people saying that they want to leave Britain. Or they want to leave where they want to leave wherever we ended up as Africans who were kidnapped from Mother Africa. No, there's a lot of people say, oh, you were talking about that, and you know, that was long time ago, we need to do this and we need to do that. And I hear a lot of that type of stuff. I hear a lot of people say repatriation is a must and things like that. But when the opportunity presents itself, I find that our people are a bit apathetic. They don't really want to move. You understand me I say? And I'm telling you, these people are not joking around with killing us. They're not joking around with destabilizing our communities in terms of breaking up our communities, gentrifying our communities. You know, people in the United States would know that in terms of Harlem. Harlem, the face of Harlem is changing in that Europeans are coming up, buying up properties in Harlem. The same properties that they let run down. They did no investment in it. We say the same thing with us in Brixton. And, you know, in Alsden and Darlston, you know, Lewisham and all these places where there was a high concentration of Africans, and they wanted back those areas. And so they did not invest in them. They run them down. And, you know, people want to go to somewhere good, so they move out. And then they come in, they revitalize it, and things like that. Even down in Nine Elms there, where them have the U.S. Embassy now, them put a tube station down there. It's been there for decades. They're redoing the old Battersea Power Station, turning it into this big place. So, you know, now most of the black people moved out of the mirrors, and they've moved them out. Or they're in the council properties across the road. But soon they would get rid of them and move the people out of the area. And what you'll find is that the Europeans come, and their cousins and their friends, you know, the Chinese, the Indians, the people them with money will come into those areas, and the mix-up people them who's into the mix-up. Yeah? So we saw this coming decades ago. And as people who were, as one of a statement, Afrocentric, you know, people that was working towards the benefit of African people, in our various organizations and the various things that we are doing, demonstrations. We were involved in demonstrating outside certain embassies, lobbying certain MPs, creating our own organizations, celebrating our annual African Liberation Day, and all these various things we're doing, working in our Saturday schools up and down the country, here in Britain and probably elsewhere. We realize that, you know, we're here teaching our children them about Africa and the need to Africate themselves with knowledge and skills of engineering and science, biochemistry, medics, and all them type of stuff. But we weren't preparing nothing for them, for in case they wanted to leave this place. And so we embarked upon a sojourn to Mama Africa to acquire land, which we did, quite a substantial amount of land, with the premises that other Africans, knowing that we got this land and things like that, would be interested in developing the land, yeah, for African people of the future. Let me pause there, black people. I want to say something to you now. The prosperity, and I'm using these people not because I like them, and not particularly because I hate them, yeah, but I'm using these people as an example because you can learn from other people's things. Like the rest of the world learned from us and went back to their respective countries and build them. Remember, you know, they came to Africa. All of them, every one of them came to Africa. Every one of them came in contact with African knowledge throughout the millenniums. And they went back to their respective parts of the planet and they developed them. Britain is not Britain today without the enslavement of Africans, without the stealing of resources from Africa. United States of America is not what it is today without the stealing, murder of the land from the native people and then shipping in Africans to develop them. Likewise in the Caribbean, likewise the people them that occupy New Zealand, and I'm going to keep saying this, New Zealand, the Americas, Australia, Canada, and Papua New Guinea, where they're trying to wipe out the black people in those areas. You know, these people in New Zealand murdered, killed, raped, destroyed, annihilated the indigenous people and took it over. You understand me? But they learned from our people. You look at the Chinese today. The Chinese that are benefiting today, the Chinese that are prosperous today, are benefiting from the Chinese about 200 years ago. Put a plan together to get the enemies out of China. The Dutch, the Norwegians, the Spanish, the French, the Germans, the British, the United States, France, Russia, and Japan. They were all in China. You can go check this out for yourself. You don't go and study the Boxer Revolution, and you see what the Chinese was up against. And they had sellout Chinese, treasonous, traitorous Chinese people who worked with the enemies to pull down the governments of China. I'm not going to go into history of that. That's something you can go and check out for yourself. But look at China today. I big up them chests. Nobody can talk to them. None of those countries that invaded them in the 19th century and the 18th century. Yeah? Look at them now. Look at China today. So my point is this. Are you preparing for your descendants in another people's house? Now, I know there are those, we're from the world, we were everywhere, and the fact of the matter is, anywhere we're there, we belong there. I get that. And to be quite honest, if it's that you want, or if you want to stay there, but I'm not against it. But I'm talking to the people them who keep talking about them want to leave. Those are the people I'm talking about. You have to be part of a community anywhere you go. You cannot expect that after 6 millenniums of attacks on us as African people, that there ain't going to be an effect. That's madness. The wars that we have fought over the last 6 millenniums, some very devastating. We won a lot of them. But nearing the end of those millenniums, we lost a lot. Primarily because of treasonous behavior. And secondary, that the enemies that was coming to us, they'd got more advanced in killing. You know, their weaponry to kill was more advanced. They were able, I think the aeroplane changed everything. The ability that you can go and bomb people to smithereens and then you just come in with your foot soldiers. They have ships that they can sit out in the ocean and they can fire missiles from their ships and devastate your cities and your towns. And so that enemy got very, very advanced in killing and quite expert at it. And so that, coupled with treasonous behavior, was a recipe for disaster for Africans. Hence where we are today. But all is not lost, Africans, because everything that resides in the physical resides in the spirit, energy and matter. And that spirit of revolution, because a lot of us are afraid to use that word, revolution. Yeah? That spirit of revolution has never left us. That spirit resides in those who decide not to stick and accept the status quo. And I'm one of those revolutionary Africans. And I'm not alone. Big up to the NFAC. I don't know if you now watch this, but rising up. Because wherever we are on this planet, we need to use the means that's accessible to us to defend ourselves. In Britain, we're not allowed to carry guns. The law in this country is that if you get caught with firearms and you don't have a license, they can lock up your reggae. Yeah? So we're not allowed to carry guns in here. And they wouldn't want Africans carrying guns here, I can tell you that. But people acquire arms in this country. And they use it against each other. White people shoot each other, brown people, yellow people, and black people. Arms are readily available in Britain. And why shouldn't it be? Because Britain is either the second or the third largest supplier of arms in the planet. So why shouldn't you be able to carry guns here? They know why. Because people have guns, they will use them. And they would, not all the time they would use them for negative purposes, but they would use them to protect themselves. But likewise in the United States and other countries, people are allowed to have arms. So if you are allowed to have the arms because your enemies will have the arms and they would use it against you. And they're not afraid to do it. So there it is. So we decided to acquire a substantial amount of land. And we came into contact over the years with different brothers and sisters we spoke to. But only 1 and 2 was willing to, want to come and build and things like that. And in a project of that size, you need a minimum of at least 12 to 20 people to start to make the project move on. We didn't get that. We got a lot of people, Pan-Africanists, all kind of people, Africans we spoke to. They would go down, they would look at the land, they would like what they see, but they would go somewhere else and purchase land somewhere else and then find themselves in difficulties, and that's a whole other story in itself. I was wondering, what is it about us as Africans that we don't want to be part of a collective in terms of building something together, even if we disagree? So we got this land. It's a lot of land. And we've had issues over the years. But let me tell you something now. The project is called Garvey Town. And Garvey Town ain't dead. Like a man called Bomani has been spreading about over the internet. Fire for that boy there. Yeah? Because, we know they come amongst us. The treasonous people them. The energy of treason is in the air. And it moves amongst certain people. So we know about them. You understand me? And so therefore, we have the project. The project is up and live. And if you're interested in getting involved in the project, the Garvey Town project, you can go on www.garveytown.net. That's our website. There's contact details on there. You can contact our representative in Ghana, and you can contact representatives here. We will have representatives in the United States of America, and we're looking for people who want to be reps for Garvey Town as well. Alternatively, you can email me. I didn't check my email from Thursday, but you can email me on meduti@yahoo.co.uk. That's M for mother, U for Umoja, D for Dogon, U for Uganda, T for Tanzania, Y for Ya Santawa, at yahoo.co.uk. Send me your details, your number, doesn't matter what country you're in, just send me the code and everything like that, and a representative will get back to you, and we will fill you in more about what Garveytown is all about, and you know what opportunities it is. Opportunities for business. We're going to have a business area where people, you know, a big business complex for people to do business. We're going to have 5 farms, a school and university, a medical center, and 300 homes. And the site will be populated by 50% indigenous Africans and 50% diasporan. And we will work together to learn from each other. And we want to learn more about our languages and things like that, and customs, as well as we can impart to our brothers and sisters the things that we learn that is useful to us in the West. And so that is the opportunity out there waiting for you. Now, I'm supposed to get a call from Ghana, and hopefully Garadino will be calling in. And if he does call in, I'll put him live. But if there's any questions that you'd like to ask about Garveytown, feel free to call on +44. If you're abroad, if you're not abroad, you drop the if you're abroad, you drop the 0, and then 0207 193 0174. 0207 193 0174. Or you can send a WhatsApp and a text on +44 737 792 0703 or 0737 792 0703. You're in tune to the Nubian Forum People's Talk Show, live here on GalaxyAfriwi.com. Otep caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Otep, that's...
Oh, Garadina, Otep.
Yeah, Otep.
Otep.
Yeah, Otep. How are you?
I'm alright, Seba, I'm alright. How's things out in Garveytown?
Oh, we're getting there.
Well, I don't know if you was listening to the show.
Oh, Garadina, Otep. Yeah.
Oh, you was listening, because I can hear the feedback. Can you turn down your radio, Garadina?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
Right. So you've heard what I say, and you can just fill in. You can fill in the gaps of anything that I missed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Garveytown is we're moving forward. We are not. Yes, no. We're not. We're not into the delay. We're not into people who just want to waste time. Yeah. If you are serious about moving to Africa, yeah, come look at our projects. If you're not comfortable with our project, I can direct you to other projects that's here. But it would be if you're serious about moving. Yeah, people do a lot of talking, but they're clearly not willing to leave. You know, we're here to make sure that we go forward. Yeah, everything is in place. It just needs the people. Everything else has been taken care of. Yeah, we just need the people to come and get involved.
Also, Garadina, one of the things that I didn't mention that I was going to ask you is, say for instance, people don't want to actually come, but they want to invest. Is a way that they can invest in the project?
Yes, there are lots of places within the project. There's the educational facilities. There is a business center, like a shopping mall that people can invest in. You with me? There is housing, that are going to be for rent and so on, that people can invest in. You with me? Invest in and make a return on their investment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But those things can discuss more with the people as and when they they call into the project.
Yeah, when people come in and get in contact with us, we go through the process with them, and then we can show them if you just want to invest. These are the areas that are open to you.
Mm-hmm. And what are the type of properties that we're building in Garveytown, and tell us a bit more about why we want to keep it a pedestrian area.
Right. Right. The type of properties. We're focusing mainly on 3, 4, and 5/6 bedroom homes. Yeah. Bungalows. That's the main focus. You with me? When a person comes, depending on the size of their family and so on, we will look at you with me? The what their needs are and tailor it to their needs. Yeah. But you with me? As a sort of like blank, those are the 3 types of buildings that we have. Mm-hmm. We have some roundhouses that people have asked us to design for them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you're into the roundhouse thing, that's a possibility for you also. When people come, they will need to tailor what we've got to themselves and their own needs. Yes. So
tell me something, Gardino.
Yeah.
What is the advantage to invest in Africa today? And tell us a bit about what the GDP is in Ghana today.
Right. At the moment, that's a difficult question to answer because of how much efforts Ghana has put into exporting stuff, and with the COVID-19, what that's done. But Ghana was one of the fastest growing economies in the world, you with me, till the COVID-19, The opportunities here for making money is bigger than it is in most Western countries, You with me, right? There are lots of investment opportunities and so on in the country. It is just for people to see that, you with me, Ghana is a rising economy while the economies of the West are falling. They're struggling to survive. They're in so much debt they can't, you with me, know what they're doing.
What is the population of Ghana?
The population of Ghana is around about 30 million. Mm-hmm. But you must remember that Ghana is a few hundred square kilometers bigger than England. Not England, bigger than the United Kingdom.
United Kingdom, because United Kingdom is 88,000 square miles of land, and Ghana is 92,000 square miles of land. So when they're talking about overpopulation, Britain has approximately 70 million people, and Ghana has 30. So, where is overpopulated? This is the question. But moving on. So we're going to have a business center. And what about the farms? Tell us about the farms.
Right. The farms are geared at food security. With what's happening in the world at the moment, one of the things we need to do is we need to make sure that we can provide food for ourselves. Don't care what happens. And the farms are geared at, for the people who live in Garveytown, food security first. And then we sell whatever we can't eat. Whatever we as a community don't need can go outside. But it's not about farming to export or to sell to somebody else. It's about farming to support the needs of our community first most importantly.
So there's going to be 5 farms. What's the 5 farms?
Right. Like fruits and vegetables, yeah. Staple crops like corn and so on, yeah. Yam, cassava, that kind of stuff, yeah. Potato, yeah. And then there is, like, we're going to have a honey farm, yes. And I mentioned fruit already. I mentioned, like,
and then a chicken farm?
Yes, we're going to have a chicken farm, yeah, poultry farm, both chicken and ducks, yeah. And then we are going to grow, have farms, well, they're not farms, they're allotments, yes, where each person has a space where they can grow any thing that they specifically want that the rest of the community might not want.
Let me stop you there, Garadina. So that allotment would be attached to any properties that they buy. Will it be where their property is, or that allotment comes along with with the property that they've bought?
When you've bought a property and when you're a member of Garveytown, you are allowed to say, right, I need a piece, an allotment so that I can farm, yeah, right, privately for myself and my family, and we give you an allotment of land. If you're not using it, yeah, we don't let it get overgrown and things. We give it to somebody else that wants it. Yeah, you're not buying the allotment. You get use of the allotment, yeah, so long as you're using it. That's the idea, that we don't have land just being overgrown and, you know what I mean, causing a problem. But
so can you tell us
in growing crops?
Can you tell us what region is Garveytown in?
Right, Garveytown is in the central region. We're about 2 hours from the center of Accra. Yeah, about 2.5 hours in traffic from the airport. Yeah, we're 5 kilometers off of the main Accra to Winneba road. That's the road that also goes to Cape Coast as well. We're about 5 kilometers off of that road.
And how far is it from, like, say, the seaside?
How far is it from the seaside? Winneba is 13 kilometers from where we are. White Sands Beach at Fete is about 15 kilometers from where we are.
Yeah, but how much is that in time? How long will it take you to get from Garveytown to, say, Cocoa Beachy or any of those kind of...
Right. White Sands and Winneba are like about 30 minutes.
Oh, so it's not that far then?
No, they're not that far. Crocobite, it's about, an hour. Because there's two little pieces of traffic that you got to pass through to get to turning for Crocobite. So it'll take about an hour.
And in terms of business, I mean, could people buy properties and just have them to rent and things like that?
No, that's not what Garveytown is about. We need families to come in. Garveytown will build properties that are for rent. That's to help to make the project self-sustaining. So Garveytown will create rented properties for that purpose. But Garveytown isn't something for people. If you want to do business, you can do manufacturing business and, you know what I mean, a retail business and so on. You know what I mean, recreation things. Those, but like in terms of property, being a landlord and stuff, Garveytown wasn't set up for that. Garveytown, you with me, it's been set up for repatriation. Yeah. So we're not looking to have people build a lot of houses that they're looking to rent out and so on. So Garveytown will do that to help the community, the people who live there. Yeah. So
obviously, is there one price for diaspora and one price for indigenous people? Because obviously, you know.
There are, in effect, in some states says yes. You with me? There is, but that is for a group of people. We're not just taking the very affluent from Ghanaian society. We are going to be taking people from the middle class and the working class also. So we are going to be doing some social housing, you with me, to allow, the likes of mason or a plumber or a carpenter to be able to live in our community as well. Yeah. So there are adjustments that we've made for them, you with me, where they don't pay with money, they pay with labor and so on. Yeah. So and in effect, there are differences in the price, but it's how it's come about, how the price is paid.
And last question, Garadina. Is Garvey Town a reparations movement?
It is part of the reparations movement. Reparations is about, you with me, us fixing ourselves, yeah? And, a major part of fixing ourselves, yeah, is leaving Babylon and re-educating ourselves, yeah? You with me, I don't know how else to say it, yeah? You can't have reparations without repatriation. You've got to repatriate for there to be a possibility of proper reparations.
Well, you're in tune to Nubian Forum People's Talk Show live here on Galaxy Freeway.com, the only deep brainwashing station in Addition Nation. And I got a caller coming in. Just hold on there, Garadina, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, out to unknown caller. Unknown caller.
Rise up, Prophet.
Yeah, rise up. Have you got a question for Garadina?
Yeah. Yes, King. Give thanks, Garadina. Garadina, what is the footprint of the... If a man's to... what is the footprint that you're buying of the land in terms of the size? So, if you say to me, oh, you're gonna... I'm gonna set up in Garvey Town, what is the footprint that you're giving? And also, can you build, because I've got some sustainable building projects that I want to do. Well, that's been going on. Well, you understand? So, I mean, in terms of, like, building on the land, can we build certain things? And also, what I'm trying to say is that, is this a thing where, because can I say to my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren, even after I'm dead, they can say, oh, yeah, brother now, yes, elder, you know what I mean? And then just go to the land and do them things. You know what I'm saying?
Did you hear that, Garadina?
Like that, I heard all of that. Let me put it like this. Garvey Town is about repatriation, and let's deal with the size of the plots. We have 3 different sizes of plots, and the sizes of plots don't depend on how much money you got in your pocket. The size of plots depend on how big your family is. Yeah. So if you got a small family and you only need like a 3-bedroom, then or you're single, you with me, or just a couple, then you get a 70 by 100 plot. Yeah. If you got a bigger family, then there's a plot 100 by 100. Yeah. If you got a really big family, then the plot is 125 by 100.
Wow, that's fantastic, Richard. Yes, sir.
Yeah. The idea is that, you with me, a family has enough space indoors and enough space outdoors for them to function as a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fantastic, man.
So that's what's behind it.
So in terms of building, would you be able to direct it to builders, or could I bring my own builders in to build a yard?
Right. Garvey Town is as part of it, we set up a building firm, yeah, with people who are skilled to do the work, yeah? And any diasporan African who is coming to join the project and is in the buildings trade and wish to think, so long as they show proficiency, they can join that firm, yes?
Yeah.
But the profits from building Garvey Town, yeah? If you employ a builder, they will always make a profit. That profit goes into Garvey Town, yes? It doesn't go to some contractor that live somewhere else. Are you with me?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
We're talking about a self-sustaining Pan-Africanist community. Yes? So the first people that we look after are the people who are living in Garvey Town.
Gardena.
Yeah, or who will be living there.
I got some builders who do some traditional we call it it's basically I'm not going to say it's, but it's traditional building, sustainable building, yeah. Right, are we allowed to bring those people in?
If they are members of Garvey Town, yes.
What do you mean? I mean, how can it be if they're not?
Right.
If they're not?
Garvey Town is a members project. Everybody that will live there, yes, has to be a member. Yeah.
So if I'm a member.
And the people who will work there are also going to be members.
Yeah, but if I'm a member and I bring my people in, am I not a member then? What they can't build?
No, hold on. Right, you brought somebody in to do building, yeah.
Yeah.
That person makes a profit from doing the building, yeah. Yes. When they go with the profit, how does that help our community? See, it's the same foolishness that we did in England, where every money that we make, people from outside take it all away out of our communities. Garvey Town wasn't built. Garvey Town is built on the basis that we are going to support one another. We're going to shop in our own shops. We're going to support our own people who are working, and so on. So if the person involved, wants to become a member of Garvey Town, they become a member of Garvey Town, and then they have the same rights as every other member of Garvey Town to make a profit as a member of Garvey Town, from Garvey Town. But what we won't have are people from outside coming just to make a profit out of us, like the Indians and the Chinese and things have done to our community.
So, Gardena, so what? Yeah, I hear what you're thinking. So what I'm saying is, though, I would introduce you to those people, and they become a member, right? Because those builders would probably, I'm telling you, if you see these things right, they would probably be built by only people coming. So what you're saying is that I introduce you to those companies, and you check them out, basically.
No, Naya. All in this. Excuse me, Gardena. Garvey Town is a members only. So you have to be a member of Garvey Town. You have to join Garvey Town. You have to be part of the collective to get involved in doing any business. So it's not that because you got a business, you just want to get a piece of Garvey Town, and then you take what you make from Garvey Town.
No, I'm going to build it out there, bro.
Yeah. But they can be part of Garvey Town as well. Yeah, definitely. But they have to be African. Garvey Town is an African initiative. Black people like we. So let me just make that plain and clear for everybody to know.
Prophet Kwaku, what I'm saying, you get me wrong. What I'm trying to say is that I'm supposed to be on a flight to Ghana today, right? My flight got cancelled. You understand? So
I heard that earlier. But I tell you what, Brother Naya, because the show is a short show, and I got another thing I want to deal with.
Yeah.
If you want to call, you can call back on the Thursday show where I've got a lot more time, it's a lot more relaxed. We can go into a bit more depth. Or just call me personally, call the studio, you can get the number, my number, I'm from management.
The Dotty.
Yeah, Meduti. Yeah, Meduti.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Meduti. Just email me at Meduti, send me your number, I'll call you, link with you, and we can go through those things, yeah?
Okay.
Give thanks. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Nubian Forum People's Talk Show on GalaxyAfiwe.com. This show is sponsored by ADE Photographic Services, 48 Rye Lane, Peckham, Southeast 15, and Sharp Photography. So if you're in Britain and you want something printed, you want it done by a black man or woman, then check out ADE Photographic Service. Best in printing invitations, business cards, wedding invitations, naming invitations, christenings, anything where you want to. Divorce, gatherings of all type, books, pamphlets, leaflets, printing on t-shirts, hats, coat, anything to do with the printing services. If you want excellent professional photographers for your wedding or anything like that, please do check them out. ADE Photographic Pictorians. Out up caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, out up Prophet Kwaku. It's Reg from Gloucester.
Reg from Gloucester. Yes, Reg.
Yeah, cool, yeah?
Yeah. You have a question for Garadina?
Yeah. Peace, Garadina. Yeah, if one is a member and them have children and and them have children and that person just die, how does the inheritance go?
Right. If your children are underage, yes, the thing stays within their name till they become adults. When they become adults, they join Garveytown. If they're already living there, there's no issue, yeah? If they're not already living there, when they become 18, yeah, they would have to become members, yeah, to join.
Oh, they have to become members. And
my kids running out, yeah? But, yeah, you can leave it to your children, yeah? You can leave it to other family members, but those members have to join Garveytown. If they don't join Garveytown, then what happens is the value of the property is given to them, and then the property is then sold by Garveytown to one of its members.
Okay. All right, thanks for that. Yeah, you answered the question clearly. Is there a minimum cost of investment or one should have, to if they want to go there and live also? Or will you discuss that? Will you discuss that, via the website also? Is that like a personal discussion?
That's not a question that I could answer like this. It would depend what you want and so on, yeah? It's dependent, yeah? So there's a procedure.
Okay. So, and you have people that live over there right now who like you have members over there who live over there right now from the diaspora?
No, I think his credit run out.
Okay, but you can answer that pretty cool.
Yeah, I can answer that question. Now, Garveytown hasn't got no members actually living on the site because we haven't had people that come to build. You understand what I'm saying? We need people to come and build. Is willing to come and build on the site. The site is 300 acres of land. You understand what I'm saying? So we didn't have we didn't have the money, enough money to get the land and then to develop it. Because we're not rich people. We're just ordinary workers like anybody else. You understand what I'm saying? And so we wanted to do something for the community in the future, not just for our personal families. If we wanted to do that, we could have done that. And I probably wouldn't be doing this show today. You understand what I say?
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
But we didn't do that. What money we had, we invested in getting the land, registering it, and all sorts, and try to promote to our people them to come on board. But unfortunately, maybe those people weren't the people for the time. Maybe now is the time. Yeah?
Okay.
Maybe now is the time for people to get involved hold on, Garadina. Maybe now is the time for people to get involved in the project.
Okay.
You understand what I say? But there's nobody living on the site in terms of, a community yet because they haven't come to build. And people's come and look at Garveytown and they've gone somewhere else and built somewhere else and all the rest of it. That's their prerogative, you know what I mean? We're not falling out with them for it, but that's their prerogative. But it's still there for people who want to be part of a community. And you don't have to be spending thousands of pounds buying land and then going for all that stuff is taken care of. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Anything in terms of getting the land and the registry and all those things are taken care of. Garveytown can take care of that without it being a problem for you, and it will be legitimate.
Right. Okay.
Yeah?
Okay. So with those, like what you say, there's not much. Nobody live on there. What is there a danger you can lose it? Or is there a lease? Is there like?
No. We've got it for we got a renewable lease for 99 years.
7 years. 3 99-year leases back to back,
which is nearly 300 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what happens is the way that we've set up Garveytown is that within that 300 years, everybody that's living in Garveytown is all everybody does know everybody in it. So it's just forever, really. The way that it's set up.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, all right. Thanks for answering the question and taking the call, yeah?
Mm-hmm. All right, give thanks, yeah?
Yeah.
Reg from Gloucester. All right.
I'm grateful.
You're in tune to New Braunford People's Talk Show live here on GalaxyAfiwe.com, the only deep brainwashing station in a nation. Gardine, there's a few words that you want to say to wrap up because there's something else I want to deal with. And then maybe Thursday, when I've got longer time, it's more comfortable. We can. But then again, it's too late at night for you, that one, Thursday night.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. All right. Yes. What I would like to say to people is, yeah.
1 second, Gardina. Let me just give out the number because maybe somebody heard something and they may want to call in. So it's +44 if you're abroad. If you're not abroad, you just drop the next 0. 02 07 193 0174. All right, go on, Gardina. Turn on the radio. Can hear a feedback? Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. What I would say is this: that the time is come when the West is starting to collapse. This covert thing, you all are gonna see that what we were talking about long time. They're all bankrupt, yeah, and they're playing games. It's time to get what you've got and get out of that place before it's too late. Yeah? You with me? You know? The Rastaman them when I was a youth I always say, you know what I mean? 144,000 now we're going to go down with Babylon. Yeah? Don't be one of them. Yeah? That's all I got to say. You with me? Take the hint, get out now while the getting is fairly good.
Otep.
Yeah? Otep.
Give thanks. And that was Gardina calling live from Ghana. Yeah, that was Gardina calling live from Ghana. If there's any questions that you'd like to, if you want to talk about another project, right? I'm on live on the Fiesta book. Yeah, Kwaku Bonsu. But them say the volume is low. I don't know what's causing the volume. Can me turn up the something? So I don't know if what them something more than so, you know. But with the live on the Fiesta book, see, just tap in Kwaku Bonsu, and then you will see it live on Facebook. Right, I have a text here. It reads, "Prophet, an enemy's ability to kill masses efficiently will induce fear, which leads in many to cowardice. That's where the traitors come from. To make any of these liberating moves takes bravery on some level. Question is how to induce bravery in the face of tyranny." That is such a beautiful text. And I would love that person to call in, to be quite honest, and let us discuss that text. But what I wanted to let you know, if you want to know anything more, if you want to see what we're doing where Garveytown is concerned, all you have to do is just go on garveytown.net and look at our website. There's people that you can contact through the website. You can send your emails and things like that. And if we don't get back to you immediately, don't get vexed and upset. There's a lot going on at the moment. We're having to deal with a lot of things. So just go www.garveytown.net. Very much alive. Yeah, very much alive. So tune in, check it out. Wherever you are in the world as Africans, we want you to come home and work with us. Yeah? I want to be doing my show on galaxyafreeway.com from Garveytown. That's what I want to be doing. Yeah? Me and the flipping mosquito them and all them boy there. You know? Big up to greetings from Book Lady in Vauxhall. Big up yourself. Fakeba, old type, my brother. If I new name that adapt me, I go call you. Give thanks. Milton, big up yourself. What I want to talk about now, people, as you are well aware, yeah, the first of Messiah is around the corner. And this year is a lockdown. Decided to lock down Brixton. And you need numbers to do something like that. And we're not talking, hundreds of people. We need thousands of our people to come out on that day. But equally, it's the African Emancipation Day Reparation March annual event. One of the mistakes that we make as a people when we're seeking to lift our people up out of the mental bondage that they find themselves in is to negate the spiritual aspect of whatever it is we have to do. It's tradition. Big up yourself, T. It's tradition. Back in centuries gone. Not now, because people I'm listening on the web. Sound is very good. Okay, give thanks, T. I hear a lot of talk about science. Oh, the science ain't right. And if this spirituality thing, we're dealing with science. Well, you see, because you're looking at spirituality from the aspect of a Eurocentric mentality. Because Europeans couldn't digest the information that they were getting from the ancient Cometians where they moved in from northeastern Africa. They split it all up into sectors. Philosophy, spirituality, mathematics, the knowledge of the sea and the air and medicine was not a separate subject. It was a subject that encapsulated all of those things. That's why when you went into the mystery system, you didn't come out until you was 40. It was 40 years you had to spend in the mystery system to learn the ways of the ancestors. But because we've become Europeans, including myself, I'm not negating myself from nothing I'm saying, because I'm as much affected by what's happened in the Mangamese as anybody else. So now I'm not sitting down there lording over my people and feel say because me might have gone and studied something and me get a little knowledge about something. I spent years studying our history. I don't know everything, but I know a lot of things because I spend time reading. I still learn from other people. You understand what I'm saying? And so, unknown caller.
Rise up, Prophet. Me call back again.
No, Naya, can I just finish what I'm saying, please?
Yeah, okay. But I just wanted to say that I called the police here, I asked them, right, where's their social distancing?
Yeah, but now I'm not talking about at the moment. I've only got to talk. I mean, now if you want to ask me that question on Thursday, feel free, beloved. But I've only got 2 hours of the show today. I've got half an hour left. Yeah, I can't deal with that right now.
I apologize, King.
Yeah, no problem, my brother. Yeah, you can ask me that on Thursday. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You know, because the show is only 2 hours on a Sunday, I like to be quite specific in what I'm dealing with. The show soon finish. I've got about 29 minutes. And if you're calling up to discuss what I'm talking about, that's fine. Don't call me to discuss something different that I'm talking, because I haven't got the time for that right now. I do apologize. Because we are Eurocentric in our mentality, including myself, I don't negate myself from nothing that I'm saying right now. Not because I may have studied our story extensively, because it was my interest. I wanted to know who I was. You know, how did I come here? I was my family we ended up in the Caribbean, and then my parents came here. I needed to know these things. You understand what I'm saying to you? And I had good teachers along the way over the years. One of my earliest teachers was a man called Astro Parkinson, affectionately known as Parky. You know, another one was Cecil Ross. You know, these are elders that taught me things as a young youth. Parky was when I was a youth in my teenage years, from 13 up until 18 years old. And even after 18, he looked after us. He gave us advice about things. And then with Cecil, I met him round about when I was 20. You know, got into youth work. And so I've always been in that thing where I wanted to do something for the people. I haven't always been correct in my behavior. And I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody else. I got faults even now. With all what me know, me still have my hiccups. So none of us are perfect. And none of us can sit on no stool and say, I'm better than you, and I know more than you, and this and that, and the ass dead and the damn cow fat. You understand me? So we're all affected by the man's measy. We all have man's musical mentalities. Don't care how educated you think you are, or how Africated you think you are. Because the enemy has infiltrated all aspects and all spheres of our culture. They've arrested our music from us. Black people don't own reggae music no more. Reggae music belongs to white music industries now. And so African artists who make reggae music is looking for big companies, especially in the West, to sign them. And so that's why I kind of rate the Afrobeat people them on the continent. They got their own African music that they themselves actually control. And so anywhere the enemy sees that money can make, they will come, because they've got the money, ain't it? They got this paper that they print. They print this paper, and they use this paper. And what I learned the other day, and this is when I try showing this, so me not feel no way if I me just learn something new. You know me learn something new? Me never know that upon the dollar bill there's a picture on the White House of a black man being hanged. Me never know that all these years. Me never know that. And it's the other day somebody bring it to my attention. So you always learn. Nobody don't know everything, and nobody don't have all the answers, but together we can have those answers. And we can find solutions to our problems. And so when we want to talk about politics is white man business. Because politics, and their politics is to pollute the minds of people. They're not honest when they do business. Yeah? And so they come with all these things and they tell lies. The Prime Minister of this country tell bag a lie. He's been found out to be a liar. I've heard people them on their own stations call him a liar. The man ain't even British. Him no born ya. Boris Johnson don't born in England. Him born in the United Snakes of America. But he's a white man. And he can be born in the United Snakes of America. And he can come here and be prime minister. And black people, Ubania, Asians, Ubania, them don't want them to be prime minister. Now that I said that, they'll probably put an Asian in there or some little traitor African. Because that's what they do. Because don't think they're not listening to what we're saying. Yes, we might not be going out to hundreds of thousands of people, but they are listening to what we are saying. You understand what I'm saying to you? So, when you're going to do something, you don't throw away the spiritual aspect of it because you're dealing with certain things. And what am I referring to? You do not limit yourself. You put it out there. You put the energy out there that this is what you're going to get. We want this. We want our people to come and support. If we're efficient enough on these networks, many of our people will come and support. Because the annual African Emancipation Day Reparation March does not belong to the committee. And it doesn't belong to me. It belongs to you, the people. If you don't support us, it is nothing. It has been successful for those 6 years because you, the Africans, supported it. Because you came out. When I was part of the committee, we were specific on that we're going to have it on the 1st of Messiah. Every year. Now everybody had their own agenda of why they joined into that committee. My agenda was to claim the day. And my agenda came from the time when we were doing it with the African Remembrance Day organization. When they annually they will go to different cities. I think the last one I went is when they went down underneath Tower Bridge there. What they call it? Not Parliament there. I can't remember the name of that place. But Priest Adelakon was still alive then. I'll never forget because I had a bad toothache that day. I'll never forget that. I think that was the last one I went. There was one where we did in Greenwich Park. They went to Birmingham. They went to Liverpool. They went to Bristol. I think even right where them tear down that statue there. Now that square there. Because there's a square in Bristol where the entire square was built off the backs of our ancestors. In fact, the entire city of Bristol, London, and Liverpool, they were the main ports. The Africans used to come because some of our ancestors came here before they end up in the slave plantations, either in the Americas or the carriers beyond. So nobody don't have the right to tell nobody not to do nothing else on that day. No, you don't have the right to do that. You have the right to say this is what we're doing and we would like you to be a part of it. Because we've gone through setting up things. Now, if people choose that they want to continue with the annual march, that shouldn't be your problem. Because what should be our problem is getting the numbers of our people there. Because if we have 10,000 Africans down there, we can lock down Brixton, we can march to the river, we can do our treatment in silence, we can create carnage in terms of disruption. And the way that they've locked off all these roads, all down up Acre Lane now, the whole of Sandmere Road and all around there, so them lock it off and tell you about COVID, pushing all the traffic onto the main road. That's part of what reparations is. Because we as a people should have the ability to move freely And don't come with no COVID-19 thing and use it as an excuse to hurt people. So that you can be watching people on your cameras and all them thing there. But nobody not watching you. So what I'm saying to you, my people, is this. Is that we have choices. And we must not limit ourselves. We must be honest and true to our people. And let our people give us the mandate to do whatever it is we're supposed to do. We are supposed to be servants to our people. I'm here. I don't call it the Kwaku Bonsu show. It was never that. Yeah? Chief Rakambabai and Dr. Abu don't call it Dr. Abu Chief Rakambabai Station. No, they call it Galaxy Afi Way. So, even if you disagree with me, isn't a problem. Me love you, see him way. Outer caller, what's the name and where you're calling from?
Yes, God, it's Dean O'Kai.
Dean, big up yourself, my king.
Yes, sir.
This is an honor that Dean O'Kai would call my show.
Forget that. It's me. I big you up right now. No, first and foremost, King. Blessed for everything you're doing, but I wanted to phone to reaffirm everything you're saying about the spiritual part, because we as a people, where we've become so westernized, we don't actually realize that they acknowledge the spiritual component, but it goes over our head. You see, the same way they claim when they say we talk about spirituality, and then they will call it the Schumann wave. All sentient beings vibrate at the same frequency as the planet Earth.
Ashe.
Interrupt the frequency with their radio signals. You see bees disappear. You see whales getting beached.
That's right.
Frequency. That frequency is the spirit. You know when your spirit is off when a foreign spirit comes in the room.
Ashe.
Now the point that I'm making is just to put it in practical terms. Now we're not talking about the ethereal realm on the show, but you are taking everything from your desire from the ethereal realm and manifesting it in this world.
Ashe.
You, by creating the radio show, are changing consciousness now of somebody who is receptive to your frequency. That's all magic is. You're a magician because you're changing consciousness. But due to the terms being perverted, we have an aversion to them. And we don't actually understand what the science of spirituality is. And I'm not speaking to those who are aware, because they are very aware and tuned in. And because they are so tuned in, they only attract spirits of a similar vibration. Mm-hmm. And this is why they can emerge to establish the things they can. You look at how successful certain things are, and it's only because spirits of a particular ilk are there. Mm-hmm, and when you have counsel and union with spirits of those frequency, it's not even possible for the funny ones to come in the room. They'll come, but they will extrapolate themselves because their spirits get sickened by it. Mm-hmm, and that's the one we call it confused admiration. Mm-hmm, where they look upon you and they would like to be you, but they can't. And there's something that just turns off their spirit from the space that they're in, which is okay. That's the power of vibration that you are on, which is different from them.
Can I add to something that you say, my brother?
Please,
with permission. I like to simplify things because...
absolutely.
I want people to, in and around circumference, radius, ectagon, triangle, parallelogram stand what we're trying to impart to them. Everybody would have had this experience. Everybody. Yeah? Some people can tune into it a bit more, but everybody would have had this experience. Where your mind tell you, say, my mind, like for instance, you got a group of your brethren them and you move all the way, and then some new guy is introduced, or a new woman, or whatever the case may be, yeah? And then it's like you said to your brethren, boy, my spirit not take to that boy there, that girl there, And then obviously, nah man, they're all right. But as you said, They can't pick up their frequency, but you can. And then something happens, and that same brethren or friend or brother or sister or whatever not comes back and tells you, boy, you know what you were saying was true. Or you're going down the road, you're driving or you're walking, and your mind said, don't go that way there. And you go, and something happen. Or your mind said, don't go that way there, and you never go. And I'll give you a classic example. You know the New Cross Fire in 1981?
Yep.
My second oldest brother was supposed to go to that party, and his mind told him not to go there, and he went somewhere else. And the rest is history. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
Yeah? And I'm sure, and this is not any particular religion. This is just happens with people. Your mind tell you don't do something. You understand? So if that happens, then we know that the spirit exists.
Exactly. It's the spirit. And you see, where we get it, we know that the conscious mind is at the forefront. This is what we would like it to be. The subconscious mind is a dustbin. It just takes everything. But what sits behind the subconscious mind is the soul, the spirit. And the spirit informs everything. The spirit is far bigger than us. And when you think of the union of our spirits, just think about 10,000 Africans in Brixton on one day with one desire for emancipation. This is where people may not be aware of certain spiritual concepts. When they ask people for millet silence globally, they understand the power of the frequency of spirits focused on one thing.
Ashe.
So the point of us forming in Brixton, not based on permission, but based on our own self-determination, to then maneuver in whatever direction we choose on the day.
That's right.
Is a very spiritually powerful thing. So I don't even want to take up too much time knowing how short your show is. But I just wanted to reaffirm the point.
Call back on Thursday, man, where we can reason a bit even deeper.
Yeah, I will do, most definitely.
All right then, my brother.
When
Give thanks.
you get that union of spirit in one place with one desire, and knowing that you are of a similar ilk, it is a spiritually powerful concept.
And before you go, brother,
it's irresistible.
Before you go,
yes, sir.
What do you feel when you come on the march?
I feel that union. You see people on the side looking funny, and then as I look on them, they got no sense of humor in their face. It's a family occasion for us to express how we feel, however we feel, and it has nothing to do with anybody else.
That's right.
Totally unconcerned by them. So what you do feel, though, in your chest is a groundswell of family. And you feel untouchable within that. Even the boy them are just on the outskirts. They've got no part within it. So people should know that feeling. And then when they know that feeling, they will know freedom. And they will stop that little bow-down syndrome they have to English people. But, you know, that approval junkie status we have is all part of it. Then the next part, they're going to want to go around, tell everybody about it, and preach to them. Then they'll get a little cooler and say, you know what, let me step back and just do my thing until they get to a place where they're just doing work. Now, we just need to do work.
Well, Dean, give thanks, my brother.
Listening.
Otep.
You're on the day, sir.
Otep.
Bless.
You're in tune to Nubian Forum People's Talk Show live here on galaxyafreeway.com. I got a text. There's a WhatsApp text on the screen I'm going to read right now. It says, March, yes, sometimes it feels like we only want to use a strategy when it's less effective. Now when the world is marching in defiance of their governments, we decide on compliance. Now is a time that our narrative must be manifest through marching to bring the truth of the Black Liberation Movement, which will highlight the lie of Black Lives Matter. To lock us down within a lockdown at this point is the equivalent of the submissive stance of taking a knee, wearing a mask, etc. Stand up and march. The youth more than ever before are ready to move. And that's from 291. Beautiful text. You know, people call me up and they said to me, boy, Prophet, me not like the disunity thing, you know. I'm not unite, you know. And so people say, Prophet, it seemed like 2015 all over again. 2015 is not all over again. As I said before, you know, I support what the Committee of the African Emancipation Day Reparation March is doing in lockdown. I just believe we can do more. You understand what I'm saying to you? If we get the numbers that we need, and we need you to come out, black people. You need to come out and support, not only in just being there, but we need people with SIA badges. You need people to help with the first aiders and all those kind of things, because this is still their lockdown thing and social distancing and all these kind of things that they're going to come with. But they know that we have our event annually. They know this. And so we must do what we do always. And we must look to the spirit of the ancestors and work with them and know that they are with us. And don't limit ourselves. You understand what I'm saying to you? And nobody don't have the right to dictate to you about nothing. What we have the right to do is to give you the proper information and inform you and ask your permission to represent you. Because reparations is a humongous situation, and even the West is seeing this now. You understand? So we know now that there are certain councils who have said they're going to be looking into reparations. I think one of the only councils is only now is call himself again Hackney Council. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to be mindful of those people, but be careful as well, black people, yeah? Hold on a second, caller. Be careful, black people, about when these councils say they're going to look into reparations, because already these companies say they're going to give to black and ethnic minority. No, our reparations is different than everybody else's. We're not mix up in a pot with nobody about nothing. For our suffering, for our manganese, different. What's the name, caller? Where you calling from?
Rise up, Prophet Kwaku. It's Brother Julius.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Prophet Kwaku.
You got a minute, Brother Julius, because time is running.
Yes. I'm looking at this the march we're talking about. You see the essence of this march. When you look at this, I think we stuck in this thing called lockdown. Because when we look around, we don't see no lockdown. I tell you, me going around Shoreditch even yesterday night towards this morning, I see the crowd of people gathering together. All you see is police standing. I mean, people somewhere else with their van and everything. And then youth here and people them enjoying themselves in crowd. I see in Tottenham, I see the same thing happening there and so on. So I think we just talk in this thing, lockdown and so on. Because maybe of too much of the news or whatever it is. Maybe this.
Listen, Brother Jules, I don't know about anywhere else, but I know in London there was no lockdown. In South London there was no lockdown. In the height of the lockdown, on Clapham Common, you would see a sea of white people sunbathing. There was no police arresting them and telling them to stop and go on at them yard. Wandsworth Common. These are places that I saw. Wandsworth Common. You understand what I'm saying to you? Brockwell Park. These are all tooting. The whole of them when the sun did. Remember, in the lockdown it was hot, and people were out.
Prophet Kwaku, you know why this lockdown is not here anymore? Since that doctor break it down, they gradually, steadily introducing on blocking the whole thing now, and as if they're losing up or whatever. Even by next month or whatever, just of October. Boris has said the stadium will be filled again with footballers and the fans and everything. It's just like gradually or whatever it is. But this thing don't exist no more. So you see, what we're doing, let us just do what we're doing, and we'll take our mind off that. That's not what.
Well, everybody else was doing, innit?
Yes, sir.
In the height of lockdown, when they killed George Floyd, they assassinated George Floyd, the entire world erupted, and rightly so.
That's what it is. Because why? It's in that human right law where we can all assembly. The only reason why they bring this coronavirus, because this is the only thing they can do in order to stop that freedom of movement or that assembly of people, and they have to bring something big.
But there's something else, Brother Jules. Brother Jules, can I end you there, because I got 5 minutes to go?
Yes, my brother. Yes.
But call back Thursday. We can continue this Thursday, yeah?
Yes, my brother.
Yeah, the show's longer on Thursday, and I got more time, and I'm not in a rush to get people off the phone, yeah? All right then, my brother. Give thanks, yeah? Right, I got 5 minutes to go. I don't think I'm going to take any more calls. But what I will say to people is this, yeah? That we must watch news and be very analytical. Remember, the Chinese and the United States were in what we call a trade war, where the United States raised the duty on Chinese goods coming into China, into United States. So the Chinese did the same. And it became a kind of an economical argument. And then they had a cyber war, where they said the Chinese was infiltrating in them and the Russians. And now what this is a biological war. There's wars going on that we don't know about. They're not going to go... United States is not going to attack China. They're not going to send no missiles on China. And China ain't going to send no missiles on United States, because nobody ain't going to win that war. That's too big. That's too mash up. Things took centuries, hundreds of years to rebuild back up and all them things. You think China want Beijing blow up and Shanghai and all them place there? And them want New York and... No, they don't want none of that. But they would do these little something. They like to fight proxy wars in other people's country. Just like the Russians and the United States. The Russians are supporting President Assad in Syria. The United States, France, Britain are supporting the insurgents. This is what they do. They fight proxy wars in other people's country. I'm not taking no more calls. Worse, an unknown one. So we can forget that. Yeah? Yeah, I'm not taking no more unknown call. I'm not taking an unknown call. Yeah, so forget that. I've got 2 minutes to go, and, I just want to wrap up with what I'm saying. I want to make it very, very clear so the world know, and our people here know, that I got enough love for my brothers and sisters in the African Emancipation Day Reparation Committee. I see their commitment. I've worked with them for 6 years. I know they're devoted. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm supporting the day. But equally, I'm not forgetting the People's March. I'll make that clear. You understand? I got a text here, and I think this text here, WhatsApp, it says, when you listen and the Spirit takes you, you overstand. I now see clearly why I should march. More love. 475. Big up yourself. Yeah? I think we should all march. I think a contingent of us should march, and a contingent of us should lock down. That's what we should do. We just control London. But that will only happen if you Africans come out in your numbers. So even if the march part don't happen, the lockdown part won't happen if the numbers don't come. Because they will be able to railroad us. You understand what I'm saying to you? So black people, get off your lazy backside. Get your children them, your cousin them, your friend them, everybody. Reparations is for you, and it's for the future of our children. That's what we're fighting for. You've been in tune to the Nubian Forum People's Talk Show, live on GalaxyAfriWay.com. Otek.